All right, we've got Izaac here. Isaac's helping out. He's about 2 years in here at 1024 and still learning a lot, and he loves every minute of it. He's sharing some stories with us. Let's dive in. What's been going on, Izaac? What's new in your world?
Just kind of this job, really.
Yeah?
I mean, I haven't really been here a whole lot longer than some of these other guys that have been out here. Yeah, just a year and a half.
Yeah?
Compared to some of these guys that have been out here for 6 years and just been in the industry for a long time.
Have you learned a lot from those guys?
Yeah, a whole lot. I learned, pretty much came into this place knowing nothing. Now I know something, and hopefully one day know everything.
Yeah. And it's an art to get to learn all this stuff with the guiding and the animals and how the habitat of the deer is different than the habitat of the exotic. So you're going to work your way into being a guide, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, that's like I'm like a guide in training, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, having guides like Austin and Adam really help a whole lot. Some guys that just know what they're doing and prioritize safety.
Oh, yeah.
And so kind of having those, I guess, mentors to really help me put a focus on safety and then incorporate that to the guests so that they all feel like confident when they go out and stuff like that.
And that's big, because not everybody that shows up has a huge background in hunting. No. This might even be sometimes their first hunt, or like if a father and a son come out, it might be the son's first hunt. So the father sometimes leans on you guys to kind of help guide that situation. You know?
Like one thing we prioritize is obviously having fun, but if you're not feeling safe, you're not having fun.
Yeah,
and so we get guys from like even little kids up to grown adults that are like, oh, I've never shot a gun before, and so that starts at like the 5 stand, and we'll walk through it and we'll just kind of help them as far as their shooting stance, how to guide the gun, proper forms of shooting. And so when they go out to actually shoot birds and stuff like that, they feel a lot more confident and they kind of come back a little bit more fired up.
Yeah.
Just like that was a lot more fun. Like if I didn't know that out there, I probably wouldn't have as fun out there. Like I shot this my first time, and so hearing that kind of like gives, I think, a lot of us like a little confidence boost too.
Yeah.
Knowing a guy has never touched a gun before to, I shot 20 of them. Like, oh, cool, man. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you get some self-reward in that too, because you were part of that process.
Exactly, and so and so knowing nothing, and then from what they've taught me and being able to help our clients that come out and walk them through the steps of proper shooting, and when they come back and just tell me like, hey man, like thanks for all those tips down there, like I really incorporated that in the hunt, and it was awesome, and it kind of makes me, it gives me a little bit more confidence knowing that I'm taking the right steps to, I guess, what we hold as a standard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that experience in itself is something that's probably worth talking about, is the attention to detail that you guys have with your customers, your clients, because you're with them on a hunt, but you're staying in contact with them through the year. You know?
Absolutely. Like I gave this some thought as I've been working here, that when I hear other people talk about hunting growing up, it's like a buddy's trip, like, oh, like I had a lot of fun. Like I remember me and my buddy used to go here and there. And so when they come here, we kind of like try to make it feel like that a little bit. Some of these guys that don't have a lot of time in their hand and can only come out here for a weekend out of the year, we try to make it feel like it's a buddy's trip.
Yeah.
So like we're safe, we're fun, but then we're also personal.
Yeah.
So it makes them feel like, oh, this kind of feels like a normal hunting trip. It doesn't feel like I'm paying someone to take me somewhere. Like it kind of feels like, hey, like what's up? Like,
nice you're building a community of people,
absolutely.
Basically. I wouldn't want, I was telling Adam this earlier, like I wouldn't want to get into the numbers of the amount of people you guys come in contact with over the year, but it's got to be massive.
I couldn't even put a number on it, but I guess we get so familiar with these people that we don't even think about it, about how many people come in, because they all look like familiar faces.
Yes.
And we'll see them on the schedule, like, oh, like he's coming out.
Yeah.
Cool. And so when they come back, it's more familiar conversation. When they come up, it's like, hey buddy, how are you?
Yeah,
like,
the camaraderie is there.
Yeah, sure. like especially like I'm a big football fan, and so I get a lot of guys that are football fans, and they come back like with friendly banter, like right off the bat, and so it's like that kind of relationship.
And that's good, man, because that's what you guys have done here is built relationships and long-lasting relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people that are coming back here have always been coming here, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So we're seeing a new shift in social media of getting like a broader audience and a bigger platform of people that are getting more aware of 1024 and coming in here. And even these guys they've only known me in the past 4 or 5 years that I've been here, and it was one of their first hunts, and they're here 2-3 times a year now. Man, I love it. There's so much to offer. You know, you got bass fishing, duck hunting, dove hunting, and upland bird hunting, exotics, whitetail. And I'm sure you're getting into all that.
Yeah, we offer a lot, and this is my first outfit, and so I can't compare it to any other past outfits, but I have clients all the time when I'm sitting in a blind with them or shooting at the 5 stands, like, man, this is a whole nother level. Like, I have a lot of bad stories, and like I come out here and like this is my first time, and 30 minutes into this I already feel like great, like this is an awesome place, and just the hospitality that we bring. And you know, like Adam can come greet a guest one way, and then Austin can come another way, and then I come another way. It's like all the same type of conversation. Like
different personalities bringing everybody together.
I think that gets like a little bit in a feel-good mood, just kind of like, wow, like it's not just one guy that's being nice to everyone, like it's everyone around us. Like just, hey, how's it going? Like anything, if you want water, if you need any help, like I'm here to help. And he's like, oh, that's what the last guy just said. Yeah. So like everyone,
well, everybody wants to help
here.
out. Yeah, exactly. What would you say is probably your favorite species or type of game to chase out here?
Well, seeing like all the exotics, that's like just appreciation of the animal. There's an animal when I got here that it was big. It was a lechwe.
Yep.
And I looked at it, I was like, oh, it looks like just like all the other animals we had, but it had unique qualities that when it would run through grass, it ran with his head low to hide in the grass, and he's a big animal and would disappear. Yeah. And then you see him pop up like way down there. And so like getting to learn like all these animals, like just how they act, how they are, and understanding like when I see one of the trees like rubbed out, you know, like I'm like, oh, you can tell like the size of the animal and stuff like that. So I think my favorite animal out here were probably the zebras, just because you just don't see them often. But I think as far as qualities that are unlike the other animals, the lechwe was really cool, and like how the nilgai fight. Their, on the knees,
and they're stuff. Like the ghosts of the wilderness out here, man. That is the hardest animal for me to get photos and video of. They can see me 3 pastures away, and they're just turning and running, man. They don't even want to know what's coming, you know. So I'm sure it's got to be even harder on you guys to get a hunter on them.
It is. It's one of those like when you come across it, take the shot, like take your opportunity.
Yeah, you got to get in there quick.
But what's cool, like how you're saying, like the nilgai are like ghosts out here, like they have that eerie feeling too. Like I remember taking a hunt we walked out there at like 5:45, 6 in the morning, and it's foggy and dim lighting, and I see a 6 foot tall creature because they have broad shoulders and a slim back. And so it's just staring right at me. I feel like I'm in like the movie Halloween or something, just something staring right at me. But they're cool creatures, and how when they use the restroom, like it's the same spot. Every time.
Very similar to the black buck. They'll have piles where they go back to.
So like those qualities and just like how unique each animal is, and that they're just not, I think what some people might think like dumb, like they're just dumb animals. Like now they have like all really cool strategies and qualities that help them survive.
Yeah, they even use different sides of the ranch to get from one place to the other. And depending on the wind shift, depending on the weather, they'll be in the woods. But they'll only go out to that open pasture on certain days, and they'll take a specific path to get there, you know, and you guys have to learn all those paths. You know?
So like seeing those qualities in animals, it's really unique, and how you can apply a strategy for one animal to another one if it's new, because like they act so similar. So now so all those things in learning out here is very cool to see and stuff.
And then on the upland bird hunting side of the house, it's a lot of behind the scenes on that, managing the birds and the dogs and everything. Like that's got to be a lot.
So I like to like tell our guests that our dogs are probably one of our bigger star attractions outside of like the exotic animals.
People love just watching them work,
Oh, yeah.
man. And they point, when they get on point, they're stuck.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I tell people like they're our star athletes. We have like a starting lineup. We got 5 here. We got some on IR, some riding the bench, and
Yeah.
when we go take them out personally to work them out, if we see one having more mature qualities and they're staying on point, they're not budging, and they're able to quarter very comfortably and not too sporadic, they'll get into the starting lineup and to the rotation. And so
That's pretty cool.
That's the way I see it, because
Yeah.
like I see our dogs like Orvis, Girl, Molly, like they're automatic. And then I see some younger dogs like Annie, where it's like you have the qualities but you're not there yet. So
But they have to get out there with the more mature and the
Oh, yeah.
higher quality dog to
Yeah.
learn those traits, to know what's expected of them as well.
Oh yeah, like
and they do.
Yeah, we have some new dogs that we bring in, and when we take them out with, say, if it's a new lab that we got, if we take it out with an experienced lab, like they kind of pick up on that lab, like, oh, is this what they're asking of me? I got it now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand this, and those birds, they can be high maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like just make sure they're well fed. If they're too big of birds, their flight is not very like good. Like they don't fly well.
They'd rather run.
Yeah, and so like, and also like knowing some of these birds, like knowing that pheasant and chukar like to run more. Like I've seen, after seeing and hanging around with these birds, seeing that chukar like to run more than fly, like being able to set them in a way that they're kind of restricted to run and they're forced to fly.
Up. Yep.
Yeah, so having those kind of strategies and layouts out there in our bird fields.
That's funny you bring that up, because there's an aspect of like what we don't see behind the scenes of why things are set up the way they are, the way these hunts, the paths that you guys take, the trails that you take, because you can have multiple hunters in so many different areas, but everybody's in a safe location. You already know the path that that you try to stay on. Obviously, we're going to have birds that flush out, and we might have to chase one or two down off to the bottom or something. But
like setting it up in a way where we can also reuse the birds if they don't get shot, like putting the hunters in a way where like this is an opportunity for you to shoot, but if you miss, that bird's gonna lay out down there, so we'll give it another go. Like,
yes, exactly.
So like having those, like how you said, like just those behind the scenes of like when we're out there really early, just strategizing. Okay, wind's blowing in from the north. I want to set here, here, here. I know that they'll probably fly down there, so I'll give us another go.
Yep.
So having those strategies and stuff like that, and knowing
it works.
Oh yeah.
And it also helps to shovel all that traffic in a direction, because if you got guys that are here on an afternoon hunt and you know that we're going to go right back out tomorrow morning, and then y'all go and set up again, you're already thinking how many birds we may or may not have gotten off of these different points or these different locations.
Yeah.
So you can strategically again place these birds in spots to where we're double attacking everything that might have been left over from the day before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like what we call them is like reserves, or and so when we see those birds like lay down and there's a big bunch of trees, like okay, they'll probably stay there till the morning comes. So now I can maybe either load up or retract from that area, load up here, and then just have more opportunities to have more of a fun hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what is your favorite thing out here? Do you do any bass fishing? Because there's bass everywhere. Yeah.
I love bass fishing.
Yeah.
Like I took my little brother out one time, and I never knew he didn't fish before. And he comes out and he catches a big old 8-pound bass.
For his first bass?
Like
he's ruined.
Yeah,
He's
I
ruined.
told him that. Yeah, he got it, and he was hooked. Like he picked up this bass, and we waited, and he's like, "Whoa, this is my first fish."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, yikes, that's not good."
Yeah.
And it's like, it's downhill from here.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Put that one on the wall, man.
Yeah, but just being around this environment, seeing like the bass, the trout, like when we load up trout for like the winter and stuff like that, and just bluegill, and just kind of like being around this environment, it's very like tranquil.
Yeah,
so like,
for sure.
So like I think that's what a lot of our guests also experience, is that if they had a bad day of shooting, they're like, I didn't hit anything. Like I went to the 5 stand, I hit everything. I went out there and I shot 2 birds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's all right. And then they go out and hang out and they come back like, I just caught a huge bass.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So like we have like different opportunities and different things that we offer that kind of brings that tranquility back. And so like I think just being out here, the quietness, you could hear the elks bugle.
Oh man, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, and so like that stuff is just kind of like all a combination of like serenity, I guess you could call it.
So you've mentioned the 5-stand a couple of times. What exactly is the 5-stand?
Yeah, it's our like clay stand.
Okay.
We offer 8 different targets, and we all have them, thanks to Adam, set up in a way where they have similar flight patterns to the birds that we have out there.
Oh, even
and
better.
So some of those people that have never gone bird hunting, like, all right, guys, we're gonna throw 5. That's gonna be a quail getting away from you. And so that would throw it, just goes floating up, and it kind of gets people like, okay, so that's kind of like how a quail moves. Like, yeah, very similar. Like, all right, guys, we got 7. It's gonna go up real quick, going away. It's gonna come back down. That's a pheasant for you guys. Like, so it kind of like mimics those bird patterns that gets people familiar with a flight path. So when they're out there, they're able to move the barrel a lot more comfortably.
That's awesome, because some people don't even think about that either. They just think it's point and shoot. Well, there's a follow through process.
Oh yeah.
There's a leading process. There's so much more to it. So it's good that when these guys come out and they want to hunt, you can take them right here, right next door, right here on the side of the lodge. You know, go out there and shoot some clay and explain that process. Then when they walk out there, they got more birds to take home.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I'm a big golfer, and so like that's one thing when I like try to translate to other people that do understand golf out here. It's like, oh guys, like you can't just point, shoot, and then stop that barrel. You got to follow through like a golf swing. Like it just gives you another opportunity to hit that second shot than trying to overcompensate and miss their shot. And so, and it's like all these people from unique backgrounds and different lives, like they come out, and being able to connect with them through different analogies and stuff like that makes it a lot easier. Especially like oh man, like I don't know what you're saying. Like, oh, you play golf or you play baseball? Like, yeah, like when you swing the bat, like do you just stop right there, or do you follow through and like, oh, like that's what you have to do? Like,
it all works.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, just boom, 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 and
passing
like
through.
You got it, man. Like you got it down. And yeah, we've had guys that never shot, and I can't hit this target, and they're like, shoot lefty. I'm not lefty. It's like, we'll just try it. Yeah. And then they're 8 for 8. Like, and so
that's wild. Yeah, and it happens.
Yeah. It happens pretty often too.
We used to have to do the diamond test with folks. So you punch out, and you bring the eye back, and whichever eye that diamond comes over is your dominant eye. And some people were extremely confused that it was going to their left eye. Yeah. And then it made sense for them to become a left-handed shooter, because then they're shooting down the barrel.
Yeah, and I know when I started, like, I didn't know any of this stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Like, I get an idea of what it means, but I don't know how to correct it. And so having 2 more guys like Austin and Adam is really, like, convenient and nice to have, because I will just call them and just be like, hey, man, like, can you help me out here? Yeah. And they come down and they explain it. So now I'm learning, and the guests are now learning. And, and so
I'm pretty sure both those guys have, like, special honors in rifle and marksman and shotgun stuff. Like, they have a deep background, so you're around 2 of the best guys you could be around.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm like a rookie on like a team full of vets. And
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, I'm just picking up all the good things and staying away from all the bad. And so they've been in the industry for so long that they know what is bad and what's good. And so being able to start from like a clean slate with no bad habits, and being able to learn all the good stuff and how to.
And you're helping them, so they're wanting you to be as squared away as they are, because they need someone to rely on too. Like, you guys have gotten so big so fast that we're now moving into like, we need help, we need experienced help. And and say you came in 2 years ago, well, now you already know everything they know, but there might be some fine details here and there that we're still picking up on. But all that's to better you and to better us, you know, as a ranch and outfit.
I being able to see the standard that they uphold for the ranch and their hospitality, and just kind of like the level that they operate at, it's kind of like gets me to know like, okay, this is how we're working around here. That's where I want to be. Yeah. And so being able to spend some time when we don't have clients, to learn how to skin a buck a little bit easier, or a higher quality, and being able to operate at a faster but still offer that good quality that we offer. Like just
Slow
learning
is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yeah, just learning all the things that they've taught me. It's just hearing from other clients too, like man, like how long you been out here? Like a year and a half. Like, oh, well, you know a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like good to know
Yeah.
and like good to hear because I think I've learned a lot from those guys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, Isaac. I know y'all got stuff going on.
Oh
today.
yeah, we always got a lot of stuff going on.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by.
thank you.
All right. We'll catch you later.